I'm going to start with the Hannah of it all because she goes to see Archer at the end of
Yeah.
the episode. Are we supposed to be inferring that he is the father, or is she going to him as a friend to have a conversation about what the F to do?
Um, I think that I don't want to eat up time thinking here, but I think that's one of the things that will have to bug people over the summer.
Do you know who the father of her child is?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, to I will move
I
on to
would I would hope I know.
I would hope, I mean, I would hope so too, but you never know. It's in writers' rooms, you never know about this stuff. Obviously, one of the heartbreakers is that Lennox obviously found out that she was positive and she lied about being
Yeah.
positive. What can you share about how you expect this to change or impact her character going forward?
I It's a great question. I think that with Lennox, she is very much um been influenced by this knowledge her whole life that her parents died, her mother died of this disease, her father killed himself a few hours later because they were one of those couples they just couldn't live without each other, and so she had to raise her brother. And this was something that has hung over both of them and affected the way they chose to live their lives, because both she and Kip know that they have limited time, or could I'm sorry, that they could possibly have limited time. And so um, after you watch the finale, you know for sure that Kip is going to be fine and Lennox is positive. And um, up until this point, with this knowledge, she has lived her life in a very driven way where she didn't want to like have fun so much. She wanted to accomplish. She wanted to leave a mark. She wanted to have a legacy. Kip's attitude was like, well, if I could die tomorrow, so I'm just gonna like have fun and have no responsibility. So I think moving forward, both Lennox and Kip, now knowing what their futures hold a little more clearly, you're going to see that they start to make very different choices.
As you alluded to, there was the reveal about Anna trying to commit suicide. What can you share about how that will play out for Charles going forward and what we will be seeing of that father-daughter relationship now that she does know more about her family history?
Well, I think what was so shocking for Charles in this episode was that when Anna says you would be the last person I talk to, and that's a gut punch to him, and he immediately reacts, "We are," and I think as the finale progresses, that he shares more of his past and it tells the story of his father to help her understand Anna, that she's not alone, and that when she finally breaks down, I think that's like a new opening for them, a new connection, and I do intend to continue to explore their relationship in future episodes in the fall.
Sharon had to make some brutal cuts as well. What can you share about what this means to her that she had to cut someone that she cares very deeply about, what it will mean for the hospital, and what this will mean for her ultimate healing now that she's kind of had to confront that maybe she isn't as healed as she thought she was?
She definitely is not as healed as much as she thought she was. I think these cuts coming, and Dennis being one of the cuts, really kind of put the heat on some of the concerns and feelings of betrayal that Sharon had, and really kind of pushed her into action in this episode. I think that when Goodwin went to see Cassie in the beginning of the episode, that kind of reopened the wound a little bit. And I think that she, after having been stabbed and almost dying, I think that she really, as a lot of people do, she kind of tried to compartmentalize it and put it away. And then it kind of felt like things went back to normal. But it was very important to me that we circle back around to this, because I didn't want it to feel so, like real, like kind of old school TV where it's like, well, it's the next episode. She's over that. To come back around and realize that this has had a profound effect on her, and she's been trying to act like everything's okay. And in this episode, she realizes that I'm everything is not okay. Um, I could have died, and I'm going to make some changes in my life moving forward. And if I feel betrayed by Dennis, I may love him, but that needs to end. Um, I was like proud of the character when Goodwin said to Cassidy that I don't forgive you. And then, at the end of the episode, she goes to Bert, which is for me such a moving scene. And it's like her going back home, that he is home to her. They have their own history, and it's very, volatile in and of itself. But ultimately, she had children with him. She was married to him for decades, and she needed to go back to that security a little bit at the end. So I think that at the end of the episode, that is the beginning of her healing process for real.